Fulham have announced the permanent signing of Yoan Kusi-Asare. Thomas Tuchel insists Elliot Anderson's transfer to Manchester City has not caused any distractions in the England camp at the World Cup. Tottenham have confirmed Elliot Veliz is set to leave the club. Bournemouth coaches Tommy Elphick and Sean Cooper have agreed deals to leave the club, and Everton are among the Premier League clubs keen on Parma midfielder Mandela Keita. Here are your daily Premier League news headlines. Hi everyone, hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel and to another edition of the Premier League news headlines, where I'll be going through all the latest news, rumours and reports. My name's Lee The Dorset Spur, and if you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Okay, so let's get into it. Here are the latest headlines today. Fulham have announced a permanent signing of Yoan Kusi-Asare from Bayern Munich for an undisclosed fee. The 18-year-old joined the club on loan last summer and made 7 Premier League appearances. He also scored 4 times in the Premier League, 2 games for the Cottagers. Speaking to the club's website, the young forward said, "I'm very happy to be a permanent Fulham player. From my first week here, it was very good. I felt like I was part of the Fulham family. The changing room was very nice, team, staff, so I'm very happy here." Vice Chairman and Director of Football Tony Khan added, "I am thrilled to welcome Yoan to Fulham on a long-term contract. We believe that he is a very talented young player with massive potential and a bright future, and we're very happy that Yoan is joining the club permanently now following his time with us on loan." Thomas Tuchel insists that Elliot Anderson's transfer to Manchester City has not caused any distractions in the England camp during this World Cup. City agreed on a £116 million deal to sign a midfielder from Nottingham Forest, making him the most expensive British player of all time. "We had no distractions, no medical before a match," said Tuchel. "All the focus was on his recovery and getting him available for training. The focus was on training and travelling with us, no distractions from the main topic, which is clearly the match tomorrow, Panama on Saturday. The reality is that transfers are going on in world football while we are playing. Big transfers take a lot of time. We know the things are going on behind the scenes. We will facilitate that transfer, but after the match, not before." Tottenham have confirmed striker Veliz is set to leave the club to join Brazilian side Bahia. Sky Sports News understands Spurs will receive a fee of just under £8 million for the 22-year-old. The striker joined Spurs from Rosario Central in 2023 and made 8 appearances for the club, scoring 1 Premier League goal. He has previously spent time on loan at both Seville and Espanyol. Bournemouth coaches Tommy Elphick and Sean Cooper have agreed deals to leave the club and are now set to join Andoni Iraola at Liverpool. The 2 higher rated assistants were both wanted by the new Liverpool boss, but needed to agree termination deals with Bournemouth before being allowed to discuss terms at Liverpool. This has now happened and the agreement will be signed over the weekend. Both Elphick and Cooper formed part of Iraola's backroom team when he arrived in 2023, and since then have been part of the club's success, finishing 6th and qualifying for Europe for the first time in the club's history. Everton are among Premier League clubs keen on Parma midfielder Mandela Keita. David Moyes wants to sign the new number 6 type midfielder and has already bid for Middlesbrough's Hayden Hackney. Keita, a 24-year-old Belgian international, is one of several other names on Everton's list of targets, Sky Sports News has learned. Keita is also understood to have big clubs in Italy looking to try and sign him. He has made 70 appearances for Parma, including 37 in Serie A and last season following a move from Royal Antwerp in 2024. Niels Koppen is set to be appointed as Director of Player Recruitment at West Ham. A deal is close to being completed for Koppen, who's still needing to obtain a work permit. He currently works at FC Copenhagen as Technical Director and will lead the recruitment of players but won't be responsible for the overall football operation. A new football leadership structure will see Koppen work alongside head coach Nuno Espirito Santo, sporting director Mark Noble and the board of football matters such as contract renewals and the academy players. Koppen is a club appointment with Nuno involved in the process, and it is expected that once confirmed, West Ham will start to move on with activity in the transfer market. So my views on these stories, well, Tottenham moving on with Veliz, one of those where basically the player came during a time when Tottenham were looking at data analysis and young players, recruitment for kind of longevity and that kind of stuff, and clearly that didn't work. He didn't get an awful lot of time at Tottenham, suffered with injury, scored one goal against Brighton, and has kind of bummed around ever since trying to find a good place. He's been to Seville, he's been to Espanyol, he went back to Rosario Central, and it's obviously never come to fruition to get a transfer, and so he leaves the club and goes off to start a new chapter in Brazil. He's only 22 years old, so got plenty of time in his locker for him to kind of go on and do something new for his career, and I'm sure he will. Fingers crossed it all works out for him, and thanks for his time at Spurs. The other one that really kind of piques my interest, being a local club, is Bournemouth, with both Tommy Elphick and Sean Cooper agreeing to leave the club and going on to be Andoni Iraola's coaches at Liverpool. It just shows what a great setup Bournemouth has been over the last several years. You know, getting into the Premier League and staying in the Premier League, becoming a consistent club in there, and then going on now to Europe, which will be a massive test for them as a club. There is work going on at the stadium currently to improve the stadium facilities and make it bigger and so on. But of course, all of the players that they've had over this time, they've all moved on. Some big players all getting big moves and so on. And it's interesting that they are able to do that with their coaching system and their recruitment and stuff. So fingers crossed that with losing not only the players but the coach and now the backroom staff, that this doesn't massively impact Bournemouth going forward, going into a period where they're going to have 2 games a week and so on. So that's going to be a big ask for such a relatively small club in the overall scheme of things, but a club that I've been close to. I've lived in Poole for 30 plus years, and so been to AFC Bournemouth back in the old days of the kind of second division and so on. So the club has come an awful long way in that period, and so it's credit to all those involved, and hopefully they'll do well going forward. So fingers crossed for them. So anyway, listen, thanks for watching or listening. Really appreciate your time. If you've been listening, watching on YouTube rather, please do leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. If you've been listening on an audio platform, please hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. My name's Lee The Dorset Spur. If you'd like to pop over and say hi on my channel, you're more than welcome to do so. I'd love to have you. But as for this one, I'll leave it there. I'll see you on the next one. And as always, up the Spurs.